Codex presentation. This is the third annual Codex Awards. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to be sitting with the finest YouTubers in YouTube existence in the comic book community. Let me give each of them the introduction they so desperately deserve. Down below is Sal. He's sitting there in timeout right now.
I'm in trouble. I'm always in trouble.
It's Sal the Slab Guy, ladies and gentlemen. Right above him is Dan the Man Kelly, the road manager of the man that sits above him.
There you go.
His introduction, Uno Momento. He is dressed to the nines, ladies and gentlemen. Next to Dan on the left is the Archduke himself, Kevy. Over on Dan's right is Sunno, the writer, Sonny Kruger. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause to the Ric Flair of comic books himself, the curator of the Library of Congress, comics, Uncle Gary. I obviously am Tim the Terrible, and let's not forget the man that needs no introduction, the headmaster of Transformers, the stapler of comic books, J-Dubs himself.
Don't forget Three-Hole Puncher.
The Three-Hole Puncher, and who puts Sal in trouble, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
It's going to be a
kicked off so fast.
It's going to be a great episode, guys. I hope you are excited to find out who all of us chose for the best of the year. We've got the list, and I'll go over that right now for you. And we're going to do it, obviously, in the show, but we're in pre-show right now. So we've got Biggest Surprise, Best Writer of the Year, Best Artist of the Year, Best Current Series, Best Series Read. That leaves it open to anything comic book related. Best Event of the Year, Top Publisher, the Legacy Award, and a new category for you this year, Cover of the Year.
Brought to us by one Uncle Gary.
That is right. Let's talk about that now. Gary, that looks amazing.
You like that?
Yeah, I do.
I wore fur for you, baby. Fur.
Oh,
I should have just ran over that deer the other day like I planned it and just worked it.
This is not fresh.
It's a good thing I'm feeling a little chilly, so I need some warming up. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the pre-show right now. We're going to do about a half-hour pre-show, and then we are going to dive right into this awards ceremony. Before we do that, let's go ahead and get some business out of the way. Cyclops was right. Oh, my God. And there we go.
Jamie.
Oh, you got
the charm.
Oh, shit.
Wow, that's awesome.
First time tonight. On air.
First of many, yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get some business out of the way. You can find us on all the socials. All you got to do is type in at the Codex Station, and that is where we will be. Your favorite social media platforms and where we're live streaming right now. Sal is working his way back, and there he is.
There he is.
Who else did we just lose? We lost Sal again. He's gone.
He's not allowed to the main show now.
At the Codex Station, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure to hit the like, share, subscribe, and follow wherever you're at. It definitely helps channels like ours out, and it gets us to the people that need to see us the most, which is you. Once again, at the Codex Station. Hey, Richard.
Hey,
Richard, how you doing, buddy?
What's up?
He's got his seat at the table, ladies and gentlemen, and you can too. The one thing you can do for us, though, is head over to thecodexstation.com for all your Codex needs. Get some merch, meet the team, and so much more. Head over to where Cyclops was right, and the website that is done by Sal, the Slab Guy himself, ladies and gentlemen. Also, let's not forget, do you want to do sponsors now or in the main show?
Main
show
at the beginning.
Perfect. We got some sponsors that are going to be coming up in the future, and stick around for that. But, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and find out what these guys are doing when they're not doing Codex stuff. Sal, you're up, buddy.
Oh my gosh. When I'm here on Codex, you can always find me on YouTube at Sal's Comic Corner, and also on Instagram when Dan allows it as the Slab Guy 77.
I got my finger on the trigger, Sal. Try something. I dare you.
There you go.
Okay.
As soon as he started giving his plug, just be like, doop.
He's already
Oh,
writing.
wow.
Oh,
Gone.
man.
Sonny, while
Art-
Sal is trying to fix his webcam, why don't you go ahead and let everybody know what you do when you're not doing Codex stuff?
When I'm not with Codex, I am writing or I'm making my series, but you could look me up, Sonny Kruger, on Google, and that will lead you to all my stuff. That will lead you to my books, my show, and it should lead you to the Codex station.
And
Right.
by the way, I can't wait for Dead 3 because I read the first two. So
Oh, enjoy, man. Thank you very much.
There you
Yeah,
go.
so Son of the Writer is where you can find me on Wattpad.
All right, fantastic. Dan, you are
You were still here,
There's
unlike
your
Sal.
artist of the year right there.
Yeah.
Dan, you are the road manager for the man above you. Why don't you let us know what you do 265 days a year?
Well, I'm not, road managing for the master of the comic realm up there. I'm, and I'm not outside just screaming into the void. You can find me on Instagram at Dan Kelly Art. Post art and music on there. I haven't posted music in a while. I should get on that. So go check it out.
Yeah,
Give me a
get on that.
follow. I'm actually getting ready to make a post tomorrow. I'll show you. I'm finishing the inks on this on my
Oh,
entry for the
Nice.
gunslinger spawn.
Oh,
okay,
very
let me throw you up there real fast.
Yeah, I was gonna
Dan.
say, go front and center on that.
Yeah,
yeah.
not
Take a
me.
peek at this, ladies and gentlemen. You're gonna love this.
Show that again, Dan.
So
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
clearly, I
Beautiful,
think
baby.
of anything to go in the background. So I was like, I'll just make some clouds and some ground, and whoever colors it can, if I make it that far, can color something. So
There you go.
Nice.
Awesome, man.
so go
Very
check
cool.
it out, and even with all the CGC stuff going on, I am proud that I am a CGC verified artist now. So
Nice.
I can.
Yes,
I
he
get
is.
something slabbed, you can know that it's a legitimate grade.
That's
Yes.
right.
There you go, ladies and
Switching
gentlemen.
out there.
TJ.
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 What's
Hey.
up?
Hope you're sticking around for tonight, man. I know we're in a pre-show right now, but we got so much going on with the award show. Hopefully you can stick through it all, bro.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a great time.
Thank you for
Uh,
that.
I've been
Richard.
fired
Richard
twice
said
already.
nice.
All right, Archduke Kevy, let us know where.
I gotta show this. Who hired the pimp next to you?
Oh, there we go.
Pimp works for himself. He don't need to get hired. He makes his own bank.
That's
Art-
a pimp named Slickback. It's like a Tribe Called Quest. You got to say the whole thing.
Hey, it's okay, Eternal. We're good.
We know who you talk about.
All right, Archduke Kevy, why don't you go ahead and let us know what the place is that you call home when you're not here at Codex and why it's so important to the Codex station's history.
All right, guys. I appreciate you having me on. I created a group over on Facebook called Comic Character of the Day, where we post a different character, a different cover, a question, and an off-topic comedic panel that is put up there every day. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Uncle Gary. And a lot of us met through that group, and
Yep.
I'm honored to have been part of the impetus behind this grouping of great individuals that we have up on all the panels right here, right now. So I'm honored to be a part of it. So come on over and check us out over on Comic Character of the Day on Facebook.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Dan, since you are the road manager, I feel it is only best that you give the curator of the Library of Comics, the master of the Squared Comic Book Circle, his proper introduction.
Well, I mean, I was going to describe what he's wearing, but I mean, look at him. There's no words that could do justice for that.
I think I found him.
Pimping ain't easy.
Pimping ain't easy, baby.
He's the
Pimping ain't
kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, bright lights, big city curator of the Library of Comics, the Ric Flair of comics, a pimp named Slickback of comics. That's Uncle Gary.
Oh, Dan Kelly, thank you for that beautiful introduction. Thank you, my friend. I am proud to be here at Comic Logic, but when I'm not here, I am proud to be a Comic Logic co-owner when I'm not here at Codex. I am proud to have this comic shop be part in my DNA. I am a Comic Logic co-owner, and I'm proud to do that with my friends. And Comic books, they make you strong, baby. You go, you get your comic books. You can come see me at Comic Logic every Wednesday, getting these veins pumped up with 4-color ink. When we get the new books, you can see me there. Come into Comic Logic, Northern Virginia's only comic book store, and you come in and we'll pump that ink together. We'll get it in there, and comic books make you strong. Because when you get that book, you're lifting that book, you're turning that page, and then you're buying another book. Then you got a stack of books. Then when you got so many stacks of books, you got a short box. Then you got more, you got a long box. And then you're lifting long boxes here, and you're lifting them there, you're lifting them everywhere. Comic books make you strong. Read comics and do some push-ups.
There you
So,
go.
thank you.
How can you argue with that? Come
All
on.
right. Jamie, if you wouldn't mind doing the due diligence to put that pre-show tag down at the bottom. I don't see it on my end.
That's fine, but there's only one thing, because I know I'm next. There's only one person that can do my introduction.
I leave it to him. Uncle Gary, the wheel is in your hands, good sir.
Because if he doesn't, I'm not ready for this show.
All right, here we go. When you look, ladies and gentlemen, when you're looking at this screen and you see these individuals here together, we are here. It's really appropriate that we're shaped like blocks, because these blocks have been stacked. These blocks have been built one upon the other. But the person that built these blocks and put the first block into place is my gentleman that is over here to my left. It is that side. It is the man. I can't even point right because I'm so excited about it. But he is the architect. He is the man that had the vision. And as was quoted in Lonesome Dove, not only a vision, a hell of a vision. He had a vision to put this channel on the air. It was just a dream. But we celebrate a great man who had a great speech where he had a dream. Now, on a much, much lesser scale, this man had a dream. And he had a dream to bring us all together in this comic fandom that we have. And he didn't just dream it. He then went out and built it. He got the materials necessary and he started stacking those blocks one upon the other. And then what you see in front of you is a whole foundation of a building that is being erected before your eyes. We have over 1,000 subscribers. We are at 1,200 subscribers. All those bricks are put into place because our architect, the one, the only, the man, our high evolutionary that built this channel, the one, the only J-Dub.
Ladies and gentlemen, the award for best introduction for the Codex Awards goes to Uncle Gary himself. Uncle Gary, please come to the stage and accept your award.
Yeah, I can't do a show unless Uncle Gary's leading me in.
Ferris Bueller, you're my hero.
Uncle Gary, you'll be happy to know we're sitting at 12:06 right now.
12:06.
Nice.
And that's just today. Woo!
How many was that we picked up just today then?
Today was 8.
Nice.
We
Yeah.
picked up 4 during my introduction.
I was gonna say,
Like
12:07. Look at that.
Oh my God.
I feel like today we
Jefferson
shouldn't call you
Starship.
Uncle Gary. I feel like today we should call you Godfather Gary,
That's right.
especially when you got that head on.
Oh,
Bringing
and
tears to my eyes.
Like Jefferson Starship, you built this station on, well, not rock and roll. On comics.
You can say that.
On groovy bass tones.
on groovy bass tones.
Sal, I like the way you talk, buddy. Go on.
Sal just keeps. Sal, you're just playing with the reaper, man.
Terrible, man.
I respect your tenacity, Sal. I respect that.
Sounds like just.
Oh
Why
my
is there a
God.
penis being shot at Cyclops?
What's that?
I mean, it does fit him.
Oh my Lord.
I haven't drawn in somebody being hit yet, so that'll be Jamie.
I wonder if he'll have a
Breathe out
head
of his
or not.
eyes.
All right,
So,
gentlemen.
like
So while we are sitting here enjoying the pre-show, let's go ahead and talk. Let's talk about some runner-ups that we had in mind
Yes.
for the Codex Awards. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it must
Like
be
that.
said that not. You're welcome. Thank you. Not everybody is a winner, but everybody does a good job. Whatever's out there, they worked hard to do, whether people like it or not. The only point is that they put forth that first foot to get the job done. So kudos to everybody that put out books this year. You're all a winner in our hearts. However, we have to choose somebody that is the best of the best. But there are runner-ups. So let's talk about that real quick. Archduke Kevy, why don't you go ahead and go first? What runner-ups do you have this year?
I hate to be the bearer of nothing, but
Was there anybody that was close that you were having like issues deciding on?
all right. So yeah, I was thinking about the Avengers for either
The McKay run that's out right now?
Yeah, I was thinking about the Avengers for either the best current series or the biggest surprise, because lately the Avengers have been kind of maintaining the status quo of what the Avengers are all about and what they do, and just like, is it worth reading? Yes. Is it really good? No, but it's okay.
Avengers was on my list too, buddy. But it did not make the cut.
But I was really surprised about how good the current run of Avengers has been.
Yeah.
So I gotta say, runner up for a couple of categories there from me has been the current run of Avengers.
There you go. I will throw my mix in the hat. A runner up for best current series that did not make my finals list was Moon Knight.
Yeah, that was me too.
Moon Knight was going to be my pick, but I was like, I can't. It's not a current series because it ended and then the
new one 2023.
So that's what prevented me from putting it on my list, just because it's technically not a current series.
Yeah, but I mean, it ended, but it was current when we were going through the categories.
Technically, didn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, this is the 2023.
No, it ended last year because the first issue came out this month.
Oh yeah, that was the first issue of Vengeance of Moon Knight.
Yeah. But it still would have fallen into the category.
Yeah,
of best
2023.
current.
The awards are for 2023.
Yeah.
So
right.
Yeah.
Well,
you know,
Gary,
my hardest one to pick though.
Yeah, go ahead, Jamie.
Writer of the Year. That was a three-way tie for me.
Yeah.
Who are the runner-ups for you then?
The two runner-ups were James Tinian, and the other runner-up was McKay.
McKay was one of my runner-ups too. Gary, what about you, man? Did you have any runner-ups?
Yeah, my runner-up for a series is something that I know nobody else is here reading it. It appeals to me. Was Danger Street. I really love Danger Street.
Danger Street was a good read. It was a lengthy read, but it was a good.
Well, it was a lengthy read, and Tom King was one of my runner-ups for Writer of the Year because I really like what he's doing in Penguin.
Yeah,
and I really loved what he's doing with Danger Street. But Danger Street took those 13 first-issue specials that came out in the 70s with 13 different subjects that headed the book and tied them all together in one story. And to make it even tougher, about half those subjects were terrible comic concepts. Were just awful characters that were created. And he tied them together. And I thought it was a fantastic exercise in writing. And Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm surprised it didn't make your finals list because just about every Saturday you were raving about.
Well, because there's one book that I put above that because there's only one book we can have, right?
Yeah,
there can only be one.
Yeah.
So that's I had another book out of it, but Danger Street was really up there. Tom King was really high up there for me on that, and I did have for my biggest surprise. I had a runner-up that was really tough, that I had a really tough choice with, and I ended up picking a book for biggest surprise. But I had a moment that was biggest surprise for me, and that was Kitty Pryde getting all murdery, and I mean, I didn't see that coming.
Uncle Gary, I think me and you might actually have the same biggest surprise.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. What it is, but the way she killed people was horrific. I mean, it was wow. And the other thing about it was that's so against her character, but she had a very important reason for having to kill those people. I mean, it was very important. The information that she could use the portals that nobody else could use when she couldn't use them earlier, and that information in the war that she was in was so valuable that she had to kill anyone that had knowledge that she could use the portals. So that for me was the biggest jaw-dropping surprise from something that happened within a comic.
Well, Sonny, what about you, man? Any runners up this year?
For me, it was for best current series. I'm not too familiar too much. And Tim, just the other day when you were like, "Oh, you should check out Superman," so I did start reading that. So that gets my runner-up. I almost was
Oh,
I was
nice.
considering picking it. So, but I haven't read too far into it. So the new Superman series was my runner-up.
I'm glad
Best
you're
current
reading it
series.
though, because you're
Yeah.
not going to be
Good.
disappointed.
No,
Yeah,
I'm enjoying
Superman
it.
What
is
issue
really
are you
worth
on?
reading for the first time
You
in
said
a
the first.
long time.
Sal, what about you, man? Aside from Cyclops being right, what runner-ups do you have?
Sales fucking
Huh.
fired.
Oh, dropping the F bomb. Come on.
I got
a great
I got
show.
the one out. No one else can use it now, and I used it on you.
If anybody could use it, it's you. You have the right
Yeah.
to use it.
Well,
Yeah,
I usually
okay.
learn to
Well,
bleep myself out. Like I'll be like, "It's your fault." Today, no, fuck that.
Sal, what do you got, bud?
So one of the tough choices I had was Artist of the Year, and would you
Yeah.
believe I did not choose George Perez for his artwork that he had
Interesting.
released this year, you know,
Okay.
or that I would say last year now.
Yeah.
So even though I loved every issue that came out with his artwork, I don't know. I felt wrong picking it because it felt like I don't know. It just felt wrong picking it. So I did
Right.
not have George Perez as my Artist of the Year, but he was damn close to being it.
Well, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't seen the first Codex Awards, Jamie, we chose George Perez as our honorary first Legacy Award holder.
Yes, we did.
Right.
So, yeah. All right,
Very,
Dan,
very valid too.
Dan, the last bit is yours, man. What runners-up did you have?
I had Perez as a runner-up on best covers because I love that. I really like the Cap cover he did. The that they did for issue one where it was like the torso and him kind of going like that.
Yeah.
But even more than that, I love the Avengers one that they used for him where it was the Vision coming out of the wall. Yeah, that one. But
That's a great cover.
Great.
It is.
because some of
I love how Uncle Gary is like, you'll see a book and he's just like, fuck it, it's right here.
I got it.
because all the Perez covers look good, but since they're all like sketches and commissions he did, some are at some aren't quite at finished stages. But that one is a great one, and the Avengers one where Vision is coming out of the wall, that was my runner up for
Uncle Gary's getting it out right now. I know what you're talking about.
I got
it right here.
That was my runner up for that one. That was my runner up for cover of the year because I thought that one just because that cover was so great.
That reminds me of
I just wanted to do that Hulk 420
Have it.
issue.
For
he's looking.
For series, I had a whole lot of them. I
Oh,
mean,
trust me, I know you were talking to me. You're like, dude, this is so hard. I can't figure out which one to pick.
After we just talked, I'm now reconsidering my current series.
See,
well, taking just 2023 into account because I really like the new Captain America series. I really like the new Titans one.
Yeah.
But both of those are not very, they're only like 4 or 5 issues in. It's kind of same thing with Green Arrow, Wolverine. I've been digging that the past like 5 months, but I haven't read it all year. I've only read like the past 4 or 5 months of it. So
yeah,
those are the ones that they would be my runners up just because I haven't, there's not enough body there. And then my runner up for Surprise was Batman getting a robot hand and then only having it acknowledged in like one issue after that, and then nobody
brought it up again.
Anything with it.
Welcome to comic books.
Well, hey, let's give a big shout out to those that are in chat right now and watching at home. Ladies and gentlemen, we are a couple minutes away from the 3rd annual Codex Awards. That will be getting started promptly at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, so in about 6 minutes. So take that time to get comfortable, get whatever food or drinks you need to have, your party poppers, so that way you can cheer right along with us for each of the 9 categories that we have. It's going to be an amazing show.
Well, we got 10 categories this year, technically.
10, yeah, 10.
Right,
so
1, 2, 3.
That was
9.
9.
9.
Yeah, 9.
All right.
I made up one.
I gotta come up with
You got
one real
9.
quick.
So,
Yeah.
well, we did have 10 because best opener for
Yeah.
introducing you was Uncle Gary. He won.
So,
That-
do I get
cover of
runner
the year,
up for best
too.
opener then?
You get a runner-up. You get second place.
Yeah. Road manager gets runner-up.
All right.
In
Was
the
there
award show,
a
James.
category at all that you guys like were 100% sure as soon as we listed the categories?
Oh, for me, best writer. I knew
Writer,
that right away.
Artist. For me, it was writer, artist, initially series, best series read, publisher.
Oh, best series read, I knew right away too.
Yeah, that was mine.
The
Or no,
one
mine
that
was
I-
actually best event.
me.
The ones that I struggled with was Surprise. The
Me
one
too.
that I struggled with was biggest surprise and best event.
Ooh, okay.
I'll give you a hint. One thing I chose happens to go with Spider-Man.
Uh-oh.
Oh, did you
Okay,
choose
what
Tim's favorite writer as best writer?
We'll have to see
Oh
on
my
the actual
God.
show.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will be getting started here shortly in about 5 minutes. Gentlemen, as he's gone, as he walks away, he's back. There it is. All right, before
I was gonna say Jamie's gonna pop up in the in
the chat, I see
Is that a
you.
headband on him?
Yes.
All right, gentlemen, before we get started with the Codex Awards, as soon as Jamie gets back, let's do some end of the year reflection, and let's all say hello to Jamie's mom. Hi, Jamie's mom.
Hi, Jamie's mom.
Hello, you came just when Jamie walked away.
Right, he just stepped away for a moment. But let's get some end of the year reflections real quick. We got about 4 or so minutes left. So Kevin, let's go ahead and start with you, buddy.
This is an interesting year all the way around, not just for comics, but for life in general. And, I think that once again, comics helped, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to use the word escape, but they're,
I would.
they're a great tool. Hello.
Your mom
Hi,
came
Mom.
to watch us, Jamie. We all said hi.
But
Yeah.
they're a
As I was
wonderful,
leaving. Bye, Ma.
but they're a wonderful tool to help
Yeah.
us deal with the difficulties of life.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
There's definitely a lot of things that we can read into comics to use as a parallel for the things that we're going through. So I think that, they can absolutely help us deal with where we're at and what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
So yes, it's a wonderful thing that exists to help us deal with anything that we might
Yeah.
be suffering or going through at any given time. So
No,
thank you for you, and thank you for comics for being what they are.
absolutely. Jamie, we've got about 3 minutes left. Gentlemen, if we can all get in some quick reflections for the end of the year. Jamie, you will have the last bit to say on that before we go on with the show proper.
That's fine.
So, Sal, go for it, man.
I want to give a shout out to Uncle Gary for expanding my horizons on horror covers and old horror issues. I've become obsessed with getting them, and now I have to finish out that one series that I've got. I just got a Frankenstein book that's amazing to look at. So thank you to that, and thank you for just expanding my horizon.
Sal,
Perfect.
you come over here. We can go through. We haven't done this, but we can go through all these boxes of horror comics that I love so much. So I appreciate you. I love showing them off as much as I hope you love looking at them, man.
Definitely.
Awesome. Sonny, what about you, man? Reflections for the end of the year.
Well, it is only January 13th, so we got a bit left of 2024.
This is 2024.
But it has been it's been quite a year so far. And then, last year was a pretty good year. I've enjoyed it. Like I said, I'll let more of you guys do the talking. But I had a good 2023, and I'm looking forward to an even better 2024.
Nice.
So big things on the horizon for Codex.
Right on.
And all of us with Codex.
Dan, you got 30 seconds, buddy. Go for it.
I've said every time we got to say something like this, I'm just thankful for being able to be on this station and get to talk comics and, meet all you guys, getting to go see Uncle Gary's amazing house and his collection. It's been a lot of fun, and thank him for gifting that Swamp Thing #9 to me. I know it's his favorite cover, but also putting the work on me that now I have to get the rest of the issues of that because I am a completist.
Yeah.
And like Pokemon, I got to catch them all. and those are not all of those are cheap books.
No, they're not.
There you go. I'll throw mine in the hat. The year of comics has been great. Some of it not so great. Zeb Wells, I'm looking at you. But some other things have been really awesome, and that's what we're here to celebrate. And I look forward to this all year long. Jamie and I talk about it very often throughout the year, and this is something that I look forward to. And working with you guys, the best team that is live and in charge right now is right here, and it is a pleasure every day I get to sit with you guys. That's my reflections for the year. Uncle Gary, it's yours, and then Jamie, you have the final word.
Okay, first let me thank Kevin, because Kevin, if it wasn't for you and your site and me winning that contest, I wouldn't have gotten this chance to get on the air and screw up everybody's lives from that point on. So I mean, it was a stroke of luck, but it was really great. And I was looking forward to going on that show. And I gave you, I wanted to put as much energy and as much of me out there and hoping that y'all would like it. And the fact that y'all did, and I've got such positive affirmation from all of you that you didn't make me feel like a new guy coming in. You made me feel like I was an equal with everyone else. And I appreciate that. Well, I appreciate the love and the kindness y'all gave me, and it does feel like a brotherhood. And I tell you, I look forward to doing this show all the time. So I mean, to have y'all accept me the way you did, I appreciate it. And me to get to preach my love of this medium. Kevin talked about it earlier. This is an art form. It is an art form that we have. This is an art form that America gave the world. Jazz and comics are the art forms that America uniquely gave the world. And so anybody that doesn't think comics is art is just someone that is sadly mistaken. So to have this venue, to be able to do this, I am honored to be amongst you all, being able to preach this gospel. So thank you.
I know it's not my turn or anything, but Gary, you said that it was a stroke of luck. It wasn't. It was kismet. It was serendipity. It was
divine intervention.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, let's take a look at what Richard has to say here. He says, as a fan of your channel and others on YouTube, glad I get to watch your videos. Richard, we are glad to have you here,
Richard.
buddy.
Thank you.
TJ
Richard.
right behind that. He agrees. He's so glad he found this channel. We are so glad you guys are here.
Remind me or correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was off of the Mon Comics collab we did.
I believe so. Yeah,
that was a great show.
Jamie, the final word is yours before we play groovy bass tunes. And
you know what? I will let you play groovy bass tunes this one.
Oh, he's softening up.
Yeah, except for when I do my announcement, I gotta do this.
Oh no!
Is that four?
But no, the year was fantastic, great. I mean, thank you to all the fans. Obviously, Richard, TJ, everybody that's always in the chat with us now. But I got to give a shout out to the whole team. Like, everybody's done a great part. Sal killed it with the website. You helping out there. Sonny's been killing it with new ideas and new interventions for the podcast itself. Dan reviews, and you're getting these interviews. I feel like
it was the year of interviews.
People's houses being like, "You're gonna interview with us, or I'm not leaving."
Right there.
It's felt like that.
I've been impressed with your ability to secure interviews. Dan.
Yeah,
that's been crazy.
Thank you. I'm working on a couple more right now. I'm just waiting to hear back from them.
Kev bringing us all together as usual, always being the life of the party in the chat, always having that one-liner that makes everyone laugh, no matter how shit of a day they might have had. But the two biggest ones, obviously, are for the last two people that I'm going to mention. And the first one is going to go to Tim for just – we do so much work, and I wish people could see how much behind the scenes me and Tim put into this constantly. Like, there isn't – I'll work a 12-hour shift, and the first thing I usually do is call him because he's awake by the time I get home.
I got my first cup of coffee going, and
we're talking about what we're going to be doing for the day, for the week, for the month, what our expectations are for the next quarter, what we're going to be doing, who we're collabing with, writing down, dates, everything.
Yeah.
And just, hey, are we editing this? You taking this? I got this, back and forth 100%. And Tim, more than anything, dude, this is yours too. Like,
Yep.
to the bottom of my heart, dude.
Absolutely.
I
If
steer
Tim
the
was not
wheel when you
here-
put it in my hands. That's it.
If Tim was not here, I would never sleep. I don't, but it's fine. But lastly, Uncle Gary, I got to give you a huge shout out. You coming onto this channel has pushed me to do better each and every time I jump on a show. Watching you and how charismatic and
Yeah.
how energetic you are with this love and passion, where I thought I lost a part of me, you literally sat me down one day and went, "You can have it all. Stop." And now I have it all. And I can't thank you enough for those words, because if you did not say those, I don't know where I'd be right now.
Oh man, you're touching me. You're touching me, brother. I appreciate that. And
So yeah, don't ever feel like we it wasn't bringing you in as equal, it was bringing you in as family.
Yep.
So
always
remember
felt like that all the way. Yep.
And when I tell people, it's always Uncle, or as I say, Unc. Uncle Gary.
Gary. Yeah.
Okay.
So, let's kick off these Codex Awards though, and let's have a great time, guys. By the way, real fast before we start, just let everybody know that's watching right now, we have a 2-for going on today, because right after this, we're doing Comics Unleashed.
Ooh.
There you
Yep.
go.
Gotta stack the show off right here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen,
Stack
we
the
will be
pack,
back
baby.
in 30
Yeah.
seconds with this groovy bass tune.
Ooh,
Yes!
groovy bass tune. All right.
So groovy.
Here
It'll be
we
Big
go.
Pippin when we get back again.
Groovy babe.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 3rd annual Codex Awards. I am proud to present the most of the Codex Station family here, those that can't join us at prior arrangements, but we have their information for you tonight.
Wait, hold up. I'm sorry. When did Dan go from Dan to John Wick?
In 40 seconds.
I was gonna say.
Wow.
That was impressive, man.
Done.
You did that in a
Nice.
flash.
Styling.
Sorry,
So
my
finally,
ADD
my
kicked in.
road manager is the man who taught me my sense of style.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host tonight, Tim the Terrible, and with me, as always, is the mighty, the wonderful J-Dubs over on the far left. In the center is the curator of the Library of Comics, the Ric Flair of comic books himself,
Woo!
Uncle Gary. Down below is the man with him 256 days a year, Dan the Kelly Art. Right next to him on the left is the Archduke himself, Kevy, from Comic Character of the Day. Over to the right is the self-proclaimed PDF award winner himself, Sonno the writer, Sonny Kruger, the host of the Codex podcast. And
Award-winning host.
And last but not least is the man holding the pillars up today, Sal the Slab Guy. Gentlemen, are you ready to get into this 3rd annual Codex Awards?
I'm ready.
Let's rock it, baby.
Well, you're
Oh.
gonna have to wait because we got sponsors.
Oh, we got sponsors. There we go. Well, Jamie, let's go ahead and get our first major sponsor out of the way, and that would be W Energy. Why don't you go ahead and give the family at home the information they need to know?
Guys, go check out W Energy. It's the cleanest form of energy on the market today. Trust me, it's what gets us through these episodes every week. And you can have the same energy we have if you guys go to w.gg and at your checkout, type in the keyword code-X and save yourself 10%. They have so many new flavors coming out, and they're giving away tumblers if you guys use another code that we don't have right now. So it's on their website.
But if you use
Stay
keyword
tuned.
code -X,
You can save
we-
10% and get more.
Yeah, there you go. All right, W Energy, ladies and gentlemen, W.GG. Let's take a look at the chat really quick before we go into our second sponsor. And TJ himself says that sounds like the soundtrack to one of Uncle Gary's movies. Right on. That is
Damn
absolutely
skippy it is.
correct.
Yes, you are correct, sir. Absolutely.
All right. And last but not least, we have our new sponsor of the year. That is Nirvana Comics in Knoxville, Tennessee. Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and head down there to Nirvana Comics. Meet Grant and Jasmine, the owners, and meet the rest of the Nirvana Comics team. So that way you can get the comics that you love. They have a comic for everybody. And let me go ahead and show you the type of comics they have. This right here is a store exclusive of Duke #1, ladies and gentlemen. And this is available for you to win. It's so simple. It's so easy. I'm going to give you the instructions right now because you're almost halfway there. All you have to do is hit the subscribe button right here on Codex if you haven't done that. That's step number 1. Step number 2, head over to Facebook, find Nirvana Comics. All you got to do is type that in, and there they are. Make sure you're following them on Facebook. Take a nice little screenshot of that on your smarty smartphone and share it on the Codex Station Facebook page and type in, I'm in. That's all you got to do. It's as simple as Uncle Gary lifting a long box, ladies and gentlemen.
That's
And
right.
make sure you
And
check out their
that's right.
website, NirvanaComicsKnoxville.com, so that way you can find their eBay store, their online store, and so much more.
That is
Shiny easy.
That is absolutely correct. So right here, this store exclusive Duke #1. All right, the business is out of the way. Now it's time for the awards, ladies and gentlemen. And let's go ahead and go with our first category of the year, and that would be biggest surprise. So let's go ahead and get Wes's going first. His biggest surprise of the year was Transformers as a whole, the series itself. He didn't give any more explanation beyond that, but I'm pretty confident that the artwork and the story is what made him surprised the most. So Wes, and them coming back, exactly. My biggest surprise, and then we will move right on down the line, is Jetfire showing up in Void Rivals. Yeah. I was not expecting that, and as soon as I read that, that blew me away, and it has been sitting with me the rest of the year. So let's go ahead and cruise right on down. Uncle Gary, biggest surprise of the year, good sir.
My biggest surprise of the year was not an event that happened in a comic, but it was a comic itself. It was Barnstormers. I didn't see this coming. I loved this book. This book is fantastic. Go read this book. Plenty of my friends here at Codex Station have read this book, and we love this book. This is a great book. It's now in trade, so you don't even have to get the 3 individual issues. You can get it in trade. Barnstormers.
Do you know it?
No idea what's coming.
Do you know it won an Eisner Award?
Did it?
I did not know that.
I found that out today. Yeah.
Well, deserves it.
Absolutely.
We have good taste. Tim.
Yes, sir, we do. All right.
And I have it on good authority. We taste good.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, put your rain boots on because it's about to get wet. James, biggest surprise of the year, sir.
Well, obviously, we don't get to have the same one. But no, my biggest surprise was in Gotham War. When Bruce Wayne literally injected Jason Todd with the fear toxin and making him like schizophrenic every time his adrenaline peaked, he was seeing either the Joker trying to kill him, he was just a nervous wreck, like he was like in an insane asylum.
Wow.
And it was just something that Batman I thought would never do to one of his own, just to get his point across. And he took it more than a step forward.
Wow. All right.
That was very high on my list. That is a great one. Yep.
All right. Archduke Kevy, biggest surprise of the year, good sir.
Mine was the dawn of DC rising to prominence. And with that specifically, the Justice League stepping down and disbanding, and DC pushing the Titans to be the face of superheroes in DC. I thought that was that was amazing.
Good.
Wow.
The fact that the Titans are now like the prominent DC superheroes, I thought was really cool. I was not expecting
Right
DC
on.
would never do that. So yeah.
That's wonderful. Dan, biggest surprise aside from that suit.
I gotta say, I'm simpatico with Jamie on this. My biggest surprise was what Batman did to Red Hood. That, you know, like you said, with the fear toxin and, you know, making it so he essentially cannot do what he's done his known, like, the majority of his life, and claiming that he's doing it for his own good. Which, I mean, how many times has a parent done something screwed up to a child and said it's for your own good? So yeah, that's something I didn't see coming, and something that I'm sure is going to reverberate a lot through DC Comics in 2024.
Interesting. All right, Sonny, biggest surprise.
Well, mine has to go with Zeb Wells is Spider-Man, or more accurately, as I have written, Tim Morris's hatred for Zeb Wells as Spider-Man. If anybody's wondering about that Spider-Man, just go see any of our reviews we have in the Codex Station and how much Tim Morris hates that story. Tim,
Well
I did not
played,
think you'd hate it
Sonny.
as
Well
much.
played.
What'd Spider-Man do? Nothing, ladies and gentlemen.
What did Peter do?
Nothing.
But
Big
see,
Fat
the
Zero.
bunch of
Oh,
reviews.
that's so funny.
Wow.
Jim will tell you all about it.
Sal, why don't you go ahead and tell us your biggest surprise of the year so we can bring this category to a close?
Well, Tim being the Zeb Wells president fan of the fan club, the president, president of the fan club, that just was a big surprise for me there. But moving on. Actually, Tim, my biggest surprise of the year was similar to your surprise, which is Fire and Void Rivals. But I encompassed all of Void Rivals because I read that series and I was like, wow, I didn't really expect to like that series until they started throwing G1 Transformers in there, and I'm like, hey, and all these references from early Transformer days, which was just awesome for me.
Well, I know we were all talking about that throughout the summer.
Constantly.
Yeah,
and because Gary mentioned it in the pre-show, Kitty Pryde's attack on Orcus was just hellaciously awesome. So I have to give that a close runner-up because that was just amazing. All right, that's
fair enough. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Codex. Codex's biggest surprise of the year. Now we move on to what? Oh,
we got a comment. Someone agrees with you about the Zeb Wells.
Let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick. Maybe it's TJ or Richard. It is Richard. Richard, you're my new best friend. I agree with you too, sir. Thank you very much. But let's move on to the next category of the year. Jamie, why don't you let us know what that is?
That would be Artist of the Year. And who did Wes have to start that off?
So, best artist of the year, Wes chose Zermanico for Green Lantern.
Great pick.
Okay.
But for myself, for artist of the year, and we'll kind of go the snake-wise again, I got Tony Daniels. His work has been phenomenal with Noctera to Edenwood to his covers for variants have been nothing but stellar to me. Like, it has been one of the best things I've seen on paper in a while.
Wow. Gary, before you answer, TJ just wanted to let everybody know that his biggest surprise was all that
happened. Absolutely. Everything is all generated from Hulk 180. Which we all learned last week.
My
Hulk Gary's right now.
Hulk
180.
Hulk 180. That's right.
All right. Moving on.
Uncle Gary, what was your artist of the year?
The guy that drew this, Doug Mankin.
Oh,
Green Hell. Green Hell. There we go. Some Green Hell. And he's also drawing right now Batman Off-World. But so that was a tough choice for me, but he's what I settled on. Was I really, it's easy to pick one of these great cover artists that we've had that have done so many great covers, including what Perez did. But I wanted to honor somebody that did the nitty and the gritty and did the interior work, because doing the covers is the glamour stuff, right? Yeah. You do the covers, that's all you're doing. The guys that do panel after panel after panel and turn out that great work, I thought I had to honor somebody that did interiors. And so that's why I went with Banky.
Yeah. Nice.
All right, Tim.
That's pretty good covers, too.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Okay, Jamie, my best artist of the year is for Federico Sabatini for Moon Knight. the work that man has done, Gary, you said it best. The man that does panel after panel after panel consistently.
Yep.
His work in Moon Knight is some of the best artwork I have seen anywhere in comic books, and I'm glad it was on a title that was one of Marvel's best.
Yeah. Fair.
Good pick. Good pick.
Very good
Sonny.
pick.
Pick.
All right. For me, I give the artist of the year to Alex Ross.
Oh,
Mm.
yeah.
For me, I've been over the year. I became a big Alex Ross fan. Thank you, Tim, for picking us to review Marvels multiple times. But I know
You're welcome.
it's not with this year, but I've become a big fan. Then I've been seeing all he's been doing with the Fantastic Four covers, with the Immortal Thor, and then too with the villains timeless variants that he's been putting out there, and a lot of covers. So a lot of the variant covers I've really been a fan of. So over the year, I've become a big fan of Alex Ross. So for me,
Nice.
Alex Ross gets my Artist of the Year award.
Chicago boy like you.
Yep.
All right, Dan.
I have to echo what Gary said about, interior artists. There's something I saw once a while ago, and I always think about it, where somebody said, it's crazy when you go to some of these museums and you see these, figure drawings of stuff, and they're like sells for thousands of dollars or tens of thousands of dollars for this. And the guy said, it's crazy when one piece sells for that, and then you look at a comic artist who has to draw that 7 times per page, 30 pages a month, every month, and it's nowhere near that. So yeah, I agree with you on the interior artists. And for the one I picked is one that really does double duty, and that's Dan Mora. He's doing a fantastic job on the World's Finest Batman Superman, and on Shazam, which has just been such a fun book since it launched. And I like the way that he draws great, classic, fun superheroes. And the fact that you get all these other artists, some of them have been in the industry for a long time, that that can't seem to do 6 issues in a row without missing one. And then you got this guy that's putting out 2 books a month, and both of them look fantastic.
Yeah.
Fair.
Right on.
Good. I like it. Like it.
Very, very cool pick.
Dan picking
All right,
Dan.
Davey.
I am going to take the opposite stance of Uncle Gary and give a cover artist the props, and I will mirror Sonny's opinion. The timeless villains variants for Alex Ross for 2023 was just amazing. Just the dude is one of the best artists I've ever seen. I think he's incredible. So I gotta give it to Alex Ross for the villains variants alone for 2023.
A few of those covers have even made it into Comic Character of the Week's covers choices.
They sure did.
So,
No, 2 for Ross. Are we gonna make it 3 with Sale?
Well, he also did that Full Circle graphic novel. That was last year, wasn't it?
Yep.
And he did the interiors on that too.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he did the hard work on that. Yep.
All right, Sale.
Well, I guess 3 times the charm, because I did pick Alex Ross as well.
Knew it.
Nice.
Because the Cyclops cover, right?
No, yes, he did an excellent Cyclops cover. Yes, he did. Actually, I have that slab too.
Wow.
I got one going to Jamie.
I think that's one from CGC that needs to be brought back for evidence.
Yeah. Yes, I agree.
It's
And
not.
never
It's
returned.
perfect. It's perfect. I want to give a quick shout out because Gary brought up Doug Manicki, and his stuff has been phenomenal, especially with Green Hell. I seriously enjoyed that. But Alex Ross is the guy I picked for this year.
All right.
Yep. Agreed.
Next category, then we'll let Tim take this one away.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, next category on the Codex Awards is Best Writer of the Year. Wes, for Best Writer of the Year, chose Saladin Ahmed for Daredevil, and that is an excellent choice. That was a series. I know I can speak for him when I say this, because him and I have talked about this before. That was a series that we did not expect to stay on the level with Zdarsky's Daredevil, and that was just fantastic. So Wes, once again, Saladin Ahmed for Daredevil. My choice for Best Writer of the Year, this was a no-brainer for me. This is Joshua Williamson for Superman. That series is phenomenal. It is fantastic. It is the best, I think, that DC is putting out right now. And I'm very glad that our very own Sonny Kruger is now going to enjoy it as much as I do. So, Joshua Williamson for Superman.
Fair.
Uncle
He
Gary.
did really good on Flash before the end of last year.
Yeah, he did good on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But Uncle Gary, best writer of the year. Good sir. What do
All
you got?
right. You know, it's hot wearing fur, even in the basement. All right. So this one was an easy choice for me, but maybe it's because I'm a little biased. But you know what? Maybe it's because he put out some damn good stuff. And that is my personal friend, Philip Kennedy Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
That is
Good
writing
stuff
the
there.
current Hulk book. He also has written Green Lantern, the John Stewart book, and he also just came off of a 3-year run on Action Comics that was pretty phenomenal. Philip Kennedy Johnson, great guy, also active duty military in the United States Army Band. I want to give him a shout out there. He's coming up on his 20th year. But his Hulk book alone would get the writer of the year. There's a transformation scene in there a few months ago that was great. There's a new iteration of Ghost Rider that is phenomenal. But for me, Philip, and again, for his run on Action Comics the last 3 years has been amazing. And that's writing a flagship title. A flagship title. He wrote Action, and what he's done with the Green Lantern, John Stewart book is amazing. So for me, again, maybe I'm biased a little because he is somebody I consider a friend, Philip Kennedy Johnson.
All right.
Good choice.
Jamie, best writer. Good sir. What do you have?
Tim, I hate to say it, but we agree. Joshua Williamson.
Yeah.
I got to go with from his work on Night Terror to Superman to, I believe he did do Duke. He just keeps hitting it out of the park. And Philip Kennedy Johnson was an amazing pick. And that was up there for me because of just Incredible Hulk alone. I had to give it to Joshua Williamson. That man is on like 18 different books right now, and all of them are
They're good. Yeah, they're all good.
Yeah. All right. Archduke Kevy, what do you got? Best writer of the year.
This one for me was once again a no-brainer. I got to give it to Jed McKay. Daredevil or Moon Knight alone, I think he deserved it. But Moon Knight, and then he went on to do the Avengers, and Doctor Strange has been absolutely the best that I've ever read, the character in the history of ever. And nailing all three of those out constantly.
Yeah.
Jed McKay is just a phenomenal writer. I'm a huge fan of everything he does.
All right. Fantastic. Dan, carry this on. Best writer of the year.
I got to agree with Kevin. I gave it to Jed McKay. Moon Knight, for me, I loved that book last year, and I've said it on here before. If for a writer to make me care about a nothing character like 8-Ball, I mean, that's amazing writing talent there. But the way the way with Moon Knight that he, had really spent like the entire series building up to the end of it, and then has just launched the new one. Yeah. But the way he built this story up, the changes he made to the character, like plus he introduced Hunter's Moon. He brought Tigra back into it. Introduced the new characters as well to the new supporting cast. The cool thing that he did with all the villains, and tying it to his past in ways that you didn't really see coming. And like I said, he made you care about 8-Ball. Who gives a shit? So that was fantastic. And he had, I can't remember if it was last year or the year before, but that one issue of Moon Knight where he went, I think it was year before last, where he went to jail just to get married.
Yes.
Marco. That was one of the best single issues that I've read in a long time. So Jed McKay, great last year, and can't wait to see what he does this year.
All right, fantastic.
Went to prison to take out that F-lister, Man Mountain Marco.
Right. But the way he did it was just next level.
So brutal.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, Sonny, best writer, sir, and it can't be you.
Jamie, you have turned me on to this writer, and that is Scott Snyder. That's the one I'm giving writer of the year. I've become like I said, Jamie, you've got me a lot into the works of Scott Snyder, and what I like is that he has done a lot of comics that aren't just straight out superhero stuff. You know, I love my superhero stuff.
Yeah.
But different kinds of story, like Night of the Ghoul. I know that wasn't this year, but also Claire was one that really won me over.
yes.
So
Yeah,
for me-
Claire was a great story, and I'm glad you guys reviewed that one, even though I wasn't there. I was hoping you guys would love that book.
Oh
Yeah, so
yeah.
I did love it, and yeah, I love Scott Snyder's work. So for me, Writer of the Year goes to Scott Snyder.
He also wrote Barnstormers.
Yes,
Oh,
he
nice.
did.
I'll have to
Yeah.
pick that one out. Yeah.
And you said, Gary, the
Great.
trade is out now. So
Yeah,
there
the
you
trade's
go.
out, baby. Go get it. Just
Yeah.
came out a week ago.
All right. Fantastic. Sal, end this category. Best Writer of the Year.
Am I allowed to pick Sonny? Am I
You
allowed to
can.
pick him?
Yes, Sonny. You can
Okay,
choose
but
Sonny.
I'm not picking him.
Oh,
Man.
Sonny's
Are you
like,
thinking
where's
You
that
can throw him
button?
out again.
Are you thinking Zeb Wells?
Oh, it was so
No.
close to picking Zeb Wells, but no. I actually went with Benjamin Percy for writing the Wolverines series right now because that has been
That's good.
amazing. The way they've had, like, he's had several guest stars in each issue going through, like, lately, and it's just been an amazing read for me. So it's one of those books where I read through fast and I've got to go back and then I take my time and I read through it again.
Yeah.
So that's who I picked today.
All right.
But don't worry,
Fantastic.
Sonny, you're still number one in my heart. Okay.
Cool.
Thank
Number
you.
one
So
right here.
cool.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are 3 categories down and we got plenty to go. Jamie, what's category number 4?
Best current series. And Wes had for the first.
Let's see here. Wes, for best current series, he chose Green Lantern.
Ooh, very good.
Yeah.
All right. So for me, this was a tough one. I think this was probably the hardest one for me, I think, in my mind. But I got to go with Something's Killing the Children. Best current series. I just think the mix of just horror and the way it's illustrated and James Tinian's storytelling of it has been nothing short of fantastic. Every time I get an issue, I just can't wait to dig into it. And the way it just left off on the last issue, just I need more.
Nice.
So with that being said, Uncle Gary, who do you got for the best current series? Yeah,
Incredible Hulk, baby. Incredible Hulk.
that's what
I
made it so
love
hard.
Yeah, I love this book. And the writing, the art, I know there's been a fill-in on one of the issues, but it's phenomenal. And one thing I wanted to mention about Philip Kennedy Johnson before on his action run, Luthor has used Metallo against Superman, and Metallo revolts against Luthor, and Luthor tells him that you're just a weapon that dreamt he is a man. I mean, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
You know, just great lines like that. But in this Incredible Hulk series, there's a transformation scene, and I forget what issue it is
Number
now.
5.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Number 5.
Yeah, 5. And to read verbatim, Philip Kennedy Johnson posted, his verbatim of the transformation that he gave to the artist that was part of the instructions. Oh my God, it was so amazing. So
Well, that's Nick Klein's art.
Yes, yeah, it was just amazing. And then on the last issue here, you get to see the Ghost Rider that was introduced.
Yeah.
It's a World War I issue Ghost Rider, or era Ghost Rider. And it's so cool. And there's a confrontation between the two that just, each page was like, oh my God, this is so great, which has made me feel like a kid again, why I fell in love with comics, right? To see this great confrontation against these great forces. And one thing that was really cool, and this is a horror book. This is a horror book, which is, very dear to my heart. And after the second issue that was really, had a lot of horror elements in it, I messaged Philip Kennedy Johnson. I said, my man, that book is so good. I said, that's the kind of book Bernie Wrightson would have loved to draw. And he just came back with me, said, my brother, high praise there. And Wrightson is my favorite. He is my guy. He is on the top of my Mount Rushmore. He's the peak. So, and it would have been the kind of issue that Bernie would have loved to draw. And I'm glad you guys are reading this book too, because it is phenomenal. It is my favorite book. I look forward to getting it every single month. And I know we're 6 or 7 issues in now, and I am just I'm over the moon with this book.
It sounds incredible.
Yeah.
It's
It's good.
really good.
I saw what you did there.
Dare
Yeah.
I say immortal.
Yep.
Yeah. All right,
Mhm.
Tim, what do you got, buddy?
This one was also a no-brainer for me. Superman from DC, Dawn
Fair.
of DC. This title, I said it earlier, this is the best title that's out for DC right now. And I don't say that lightly. When I started reading this, I think Dan, Gary, Jamie, Sal, you guys were starting to read it as well. And after that first issue, I was like, holy cow, this is amazing. This is wonderful. This is Superman back the way he's supposed to be. I'm having fun reading comics again. And I'm enjoying every minute of it. I can't wait for the next issue. And I love it. Joshua Williamson's doing fantastic for the writing. The artwork has been phenomenal. This series makes you feel carefree. It's fun to read. And you look forward to what's happening. What happened with Jimmy Olsen and Silver Banshee?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was
What?
fantastic. That was amazing.
That
And
was
the-
real
I was like, yo, Jim, way to get it.
right? And the whole subplot that's going on underneath. Eternal Nights, I'm saying Superman is the best story at DC right now. Best current series. Absolutely.
fair.
Yeah, but Superman, 110%, ladies and gentlemen. You will learn to love comics again.
Great tagline.
Yeah.
Sonny,
Yeah.
who do you got?
Me, I was so close to picking Superman, but for me, I am going with Nightwing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Constantly hearing good things about Nightwing.
It's a
and,
good book.
looking into the
Yep,
synopsises, and then especially Jamie, if you had us read, I had to miss the episode due to being ill, but I read the issue Nightwing 105. That was an amazing issue, and that was the one that picked me a little bit over the Superman. So for me, I go with Nightwing.
That was a lot of fun to read.
That was.
Fair.
Yeah.
All right, Dan, Mr. John Wick from Timu himself.
Mhm.
That's good.
I got to go with Moon Knight. I love that book last year. That was one of the books that I consistently most look forward to reading. And whenever I get my books, I put them in a stack of what I'm least interested in reading down to what I'm most interested in reading. And Moon Knight was always at the bottom of the stack because I wanted to read it in a way that like each book would be getting better and better and better. And I would like look forward to getting to the Moon Knight one.
Nice.
Like I said, when I talked about McKay, the characters were great. The way he built the storyline was great. And even though it's been building since the first issue, sometimes these long running storylines can get kind of stale. And you're just kind of going like, all right, come on, let's get to the point. Never felt that way on Moon Knight. It was fantastic from start to finish. The artwork on it was great. It was consistent too. There wasn't a bunch of fill-in issues here and there. So yeah, absolutely fantastic with what he did with that.
Yeah. Moon
I like
Knight
it.
has been stellar.
It's been
Kevin,
great.
what do you got, bud?
Well, you know what? Because I disagreed with Gary earlier, I'm going to agree with him now. The Incredible Hulk has been the best read since the Immortal Hulk. It feels like the current run of the Incredible Hulk is the spiritual successor to the Immortal Hulk. The Hulk for me is best written as a horror comic.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
And that is exactly what they're leaning into with it right now. And it is so engaging. You can't wait to see what happens next because it's so like, I don't want to necessarily curse for the awards, but it's been one to the next holy shit moment
Yeah.
Yep.
from panel to panel, much less issue to issue. So the Incredible Hulk series right now is just amazing.
Yes.
Can't recommend the Incredible Hulk enough for
Nice.
this current
Love
iteration
it.
of the character. So
Nice.
yeah, absolutely.
All right, Sal.
All right, so I have to agree with Wes on this one. I picked Green Lantern Volume 8 because
Ooh.
All right.
I feel like they finally are writing a good Hal Jordan.
Yeah,
They're
100% agree.
It's just, I don't know. Hal Jordan's in the past couple of years have been very weakly written. I'll say it in that manner, but this one just nails it on the head. It is the perfect Hal Jordan to me. So
Yes,
perfect.
I agree with that.
All
Sal
right.
has thus far made no picks having to do with Venom.
Yes.
Well, we're not done.
We're not done
That's
yet,
what I said.
man.
Thus
Come
far,
on.
thus far, we're like halfway through, so we'll see.
Hey
Dan,
guys,
you're saying the quiet stuff out
hate
loud.
to have to. I hate to interrupt and have the flow of this pause for a minute, but I really need to use the restroom.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry,
Happens
being
to us all.
diabetic when you got
I'll bring you back. I'll bring you back in when you come back.
Speaking of flow,
Heavy flow.
heavy flow. Oh, we're back to Sonny. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves with that heavy flow stuff.
No,
That was
no.
I know.
That was Tim's pick. I
Terrible.
picked
I
the
was
nice
terrible.
characters.
I'm traumatized. I'm still traumatized over
Sonny's
heavy flow.
Gary, it is Sonny's fault because he said, "Hey guys, why don't you pick something?" I was like, "I
Yep.
got something."
I got something for you.
Let me ask you this: has he said that since?
Yes,
Oh,
Dr.
he
Bong.
gave you another chance after
Yeah,
that.
Dr.
Then whatever
Bong, which
you do
we
after
did.
that is Sonny's fault.
I will take the blame. I will take the blame. Did you see Fluff a couple weeks after that?
That was yours. That wasn't
Yeah,
mine.
that was my pick. Did you see Fluff?
Yes,
With
I
the
did see fluff.
belly
It's
button.
still heavy flow. Maybe heavy flow needed some fluff to help.
Yeah.
F lister of the year. I think we're in agreement. Is it Heavy Flow or Brown Bomber? I thought was horrible too.
No,
That was pretty
it's
bad.
it's the armless tiger guy.
As you show your arms, it's the armless.
Yeah, the armless tiger guy.
All right.
All right.
You ready to get into this next one?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. By the time it's Kevin's turn, he should be back.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this one, we are in the middle of the Codex Awards right now. We have done Best Surprise, Best Writer of the Year, Best Artist of the Year, and Best Current Series. Now it's time for Best Series Read. And this doesn't just have to do with new issues. This is the best series that you have read over the course of 2023, new or old. And let's go ahead and talk about Wes's first. His best series read was Maximum Carnage.
Ooh.
So there you go. What a great choice. Mine, Gary, you know what it is.
I know what it is, baby.
I know what it is.
The
I
best
know what it
is.
series.
Spider-Man?
Definitely not. That was the worst I read. The best series read of the year is Lobo Unbound.
Yeah, baby.
I doing the research for the Lobo episode for Comic Character of the Week. Excuse me. I chose this to read to kind of get a refresher. I was dying laughing from the start to the end, and I texted all these guys. I was like, "This is the greatest thing I've ever read. This is hilarious. You guys have to reread this if you haven't read it, and if it's your first time, you're gonna love it." It is not for the faint of heart. It is not for the easily offended. It is not for children under the age of 15. This is an amazing series, and Keith Giffen did a wonderful job. The artwork is exceptionally stellar, and it just made I enjoyed every minute of reading this. It was that good. Lobo Unbound. All right.
God.
Yeah, Uncle Gary, best series read, please.
Let me
What do
tell you
have?
something. If the category was best series reread, I might have picked that because after you're texting me, oh my God, I can't believe that. I had to go back and read it, and in the first couple pages, a dude's beating up Lobo with his own testicle, not Lobo's testicle, but the dude you can use his testicles as a weapon, and he's beating Lobo with them.
Yes.
Oh my God. That book was offensive from the first page to the last page.
The
and
first
I couldn't get
corner
enough
of the panel. Oh my
Oh,
God.
Oh my God. So that I got
great.
such a kick. And that show was so much fun to do, fellas. We laughed. It was the most inappropriate show we've done.
Yes.
And that's saying something. So for me, the best thing I read, big surprise, Green Hell.
Yep.
I loved this
That
book.
was good.
This book was phenomenal. Jeff
Yes, it
Lemire
was.
story, Doug Mankey art. I'm really happy that when Sal came to Comic Logic, I said, "Hey man, Green Hell's really good." And Sal was getting ready to go on a trip, and we had all 3 issues there, and he bought all 3 issues, and he told me he loved it. So You know, I appreciated that he gave me, you know, that he had enough confidence in me to go ahead and get that. But for me,
I bought the trade based off Sal's review.
Now see, the gift that keeps on giving, the web goes on out there, baby. So I loved Green Hell, and like I said, I know you fellas did too. But Green Hell is my favorite. And again, horror. You know, right into horror.
Right.
Swamp Thing is one of my, you know, probably my second favorite character. So you're right. You know, maybe third. Top three for sure. But you know, everything I love in a comic was right in that 3-issue series.
That's
so
wonderful. All right, Jamie, best series read, buddy. What do you got?
So this was a difficult one because it became an ongoing series, and if I would have known that, it would have won best current series for me. But since we didn't know, I put in best series read, and that is World Tree.
Ooh,
that story blew my mind, and they left it where you thought it was going to end, and that was it. But then they're like, "There's so much more. There's so much more." And that book just James Tynion's writing on that was stellar. Like, even finding out who the villain truly was, you didn't really see coming until the end. So I gotta give it a World Tree.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Well,
Kevin, welcome back. Best series read, sir.
Good to be back. I gotta say, man, Green Hell is an honorable mention for me, but I have to go with Something Epic.
I'm glad that's getting representation because that was really good.
It was brilliant. What's that?
I said Something Epic. So what is it?
Exactly that.
It was epic. It was something. I can't even get into like breaking down why it was so amazing.
You have to read it.
Yes, you got to read it. So it got into metaphysics. It got into
imagination,
quantum mechanics. It was such an intellectual read that I just did not expect it to get into the level of depth that I bet probably the most in-depth breakdown of anything I've ever read. It was brilliant. Highly recommend Something Epic to anybody who hasn't read that run.
I will second that right behind you, sir.
What publisher was that?
Gorgeous.
It was Image.
Image. Okay.
Yeah. Something Epic.
It is. That's what I'm glad you said that too, Tim. It needed representation in the show. I was glad that you brought it, Kev.
Yeah, it was on my short list, but I had to choose what I had to choose. But I'm glad, Kevin, that you chose that. That's great. All right, Dan, best series read so far this year, of the year, not so far. Best series read, sir. What do you have?
Well, I gotta say, just to add on to what Kevin said, the artwork in it too was absolutely gorgeous, and the variant covers where they did all the '80s,
the movie posters and stuff.
Movie poster covers and video game covers, stuff great. But for me, I'm gonna agree with Tim. It was Lobo Unbound.
Yes,
that book was so great. The writing was great. The art was great. It nailed Lobo as a character. It was unapologetically outrageous, and offensive, and violent.
Oh,
and it was
man!
I mean, it's everything that you could possibly want out of Lobo. Lobo series. And just when you thought, like there's no way that they could, like you said, where he just starts, like right at the beginning, this guy starts fighting him with his balls, and you're like, there's no way it's going to get more offensive. And yet it does, and it gets more, it just gets more and more so as it goes. And you're reading it, going like, I can't wait to see what happens next. Like
you couldn't put it down; you just had to go.
Yes. What were the scrotometers? What were they?
The what?
The scrotometers that wanted Lobo's scrotum.
They wanted his foreskin. And they kept talking about like they were going to make a frittata out of it.
Then make a casserole.
They should meet Exo Man of War with his hard skin.
Oh my god! And bug
and chase an ambush bug around, and it was the perfect marriage of art and writing too. Because sometimes the art on something will be great, but it won't quite mesh with the story. Sometimes the story's great, but the art just doesn't feel like it fits with it. This, it fit perfectly together.
This was beautiful.
It's so much fun. And that's what comics are supposed to be. They're supposed to be fun.
Yeah,
And it was a fun read.
that's great. All right.
And sometimes they're fun adult reads, and that's what
yes.
Oh, yeah, not for kids at all.
All right, Sonny. So your best series read of the year was Lobo Unbound, right?
It's on my must-read list now. maybe for 2024. Maybe.
All right.
Sonny, Sonny said you had me at testicles.
Exactly. You read my mind, man.
What do you got, good sir? What do you got?
So for me, I was so close to picking Absolute Carnage.
Ooh.
I went with Claire.
Nice.
Claire was the story that won me over. Like I said, I loved Absolute Carnage, but yeah, Claire was different for me. It was more of a sci-fi story, and I completely was won over by it. And I reread it because great Tim, we're not doing it this week. Next week, fine, I'll go over it again. It's a story that I'm more than happy to go over multiple times, and I highly recommend it for anybody. And for me, it easily got a 10 out of 10.
After we did the review, Sonny, my son Ethan, when we went to the comic store, he's like, Dad, they got a trade paperback of Clear. Can I get it? I said, yeah. So now I have a trade sitting over here.
Nice.
Yeah.
You like it too?
Very good.
Oh, I loved it. I gave it a 10 out of 10. That was
your son.
Ethan.
He hasn't read it yet. He's still knee deep in Invincible. So once he's done with that, I'll have him read that.
He's in for a treat. Yeah.
Oh, I know. All right. Let's see here. Who is left?
Yeah.
Sal, the slab guy. Best
And not
series
least.
read.
That's
That's right.
Not
Best series read, sir. Best series read.
To beat a testicle weapon, I went with Night Terrors.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
For a couple of reasons. One, I did not read all the offshoots, but ones I did were fantastic. But the series was short. It was contained, and I didn't need to go to a bazillion issues to catch the story. They had the main story, they had a couple of offshoots, and it was just perfect for me, and I really enjoyed it.
That's wonderful. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was best series read. Jamie, we've got 4 categories left. Why don't you go ahead and give us category number 6?
Yes, and this one is best event of the year. And Tim, who did Wes have for that one?
So, Wes had for best event of the year, he had Night Terrors.
Well, there you go. I guess a good
Yeah,
event
awesome.
as well.
And I like the way Wes thinks because my best event was Night Terrors. I have to say,
I did early on that.
unlike Sal, I did have all 47 issues, so I completed the entire thing. And to me, that was even with like the most series when they have events, the tie-ins not all tie-ins matter.
Yeah.
Right.
This one showed everyone's biggest fear, and the best one I have to say out of that whole thing was the Joker, because if you haven't read it yet, he was literally fighting Batman, and Batman runs, trips, falls, breaks his neck, and falls off a building and dies.
Oh my God.
And I couldn't stop laughing because I'm like, that can legitimately happen.
And then Joker was like,
That's it?
what do I do now?
Yeah.
What do I do now?
What do I? Is he dead? And they're like poking him with a stick. Yeah, he's definitely dead.
I thought the Green Lantern one was great, where like Green Lantern was chasing, or Hal was chasing the bag. The bag's like, I can't do anything yet. He was like, oh no, you're not going anywhere. And
Not going anywhere.
Cables on him.
Yep.
And then Harley Quinn is like, her biggest fear was like being like part of the Justice League.
Oh my God.
The Harley Quinn take on that I thought was very interesting.
Yes, definitely. But that was mine. Uncle Gary, what was your best event of the year?
Well, I went a little outside the box with this and did it in a different way, but I do want to say that Night Terrors is a very valid choice. And my favorite part of there was in the storyline that had Constantine, Zatanna, and Bobo, Detective Chimp together. And Detective Chimp.
Justice League Dark?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Detective Chimp had nothing that he was really scared of. So Constantine said, yeah, what about a monstrous organ grinder coming out you? And then Bo was like, God damn it. Now he's put your head and he's being chased by a monstrous organ grinder. So I thought that was my favorite moment of that. My event isn't a story event, but it was something by somebody who's on my Mount Rushmore, and I have every issue of it. It's a big stack here. These are all the George Perez variant covers.
Yeah.
So it's a little outside the box. but this
No, but definitely well worth.
these things.
It was an event.
It was an event, and I would even say maybe it was a blessed event.
Yeah.
Yes.
These were something that I did not expect. You know, like Dan talked about, they had found these. These were some sketches that he had still had around the house. Some of these were commissions he had done for people, and for them to repurpose them and to put them out, you know, like Dan had mentioned, this might have been his cover of the year. You know, that was close.
Yeah.
These things
Yeah.
are beautiful. The one with the vision, just, you know, classic with Iron Man. I mean,
Yeah.
these things were beautiful. I got every damn one of them, and I was proud to have them. And as much as I love George Perez, to me, this was a wonderful, you know, just kind of coda to,
Nice.
you know, his career. I know there's still more to come out, and
The
but
event is ongoing.
the event is ongoing. But just a wonderful tribute to a wonderful creator that I believe we have all been touched by his massive amount of work. So not a true event as far as a story event, but something to, you know, like I said, it's a little outside the box, but I viewed it as an event that meant something to
definitely
me.
was.
Yeah. So,
Interesting take, man.
Yeah.
And it's
thanks.
great because they're not taking old stuff and repurpose it like that
Right.
we've seen before. This is all stuff that's never been released before. That the only people that may have seen it are the people that got the commissions. Like,
right.
so it's stuff that the world, you know, would not have seen. So I'm
Yeah.
glad that they are. It's a great tribute to them to put that out there.
Yeah.
I believe that
Absolutely.
too. It is a great tribute. And yeah, cynically, sure, it's a moneymaker, but it's a great tribute to an artist. And you got to think that his estate's getting some money from this too.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so, but it's a great tribute to one of the great artists that has touched all of our lives. So,
Agreed.
you know, I love that.
Absolutely.
All right. Great outside the box one there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Tim.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pair it Wes, and I'm gonna pair it you, Jamie. Best event of the year's Night Terrors. That was absolutely fantastic. I was working at a comic shop when that was coming out, and when the first couple of issues hit the shelves, not only for issue 1, but the sub-series that were out for each of the individual characters, those things flew off the shelves. We couldn't keep them up there. And I myself was incredibly attracted to them. The covers alone were gorgeous.
They were.
And it wasn't just window shopping with that series. On the inside was even better. And that they brought some major legacy characters back into the fold, like Sandman and stuff like that. We hadn't seen him for a while, and he made his return during Night Terrors.
Even making Deadman a prominent player in this was,
And I love
Yes.
it when they do that. That's fantastic. And he's a major part of the story. Yeah, Night Terrors. I know
Very
more is going to be said about it. So, yeah.
all right, Sonny, best event, bud.
For me, I'm going with Dawn of DC. I thought that it was the ultimate comeback for DC. You know, like let's look at last year, everybody was saying, "Oh, what's the best? Is it Marvel? Is it Image?" And there wasn't really much talk about the DC comics. And now with Dawn of DC,
Yeah.
that I feel like DC's truly made a huge comeback with it. And like we were saying, you know, Tim, we were talking about like Superman, and like that's the way we like to see Superman. So for me, Dawn of DC is my pick for event of the year.
Fair.
All right.
I mean, definitely a big event.
Yeah.
So, Dan.
Once again, I'm going to agree with someone, and it's nope, it's this guy. I picked one of DC too. This is overall for me the best that DC has been since the abomination that was New 52. I know you love New 52, Jamie. It had some good stuff, but it had a lot of bad stuff, and it ended a lot of great series too. Some of my favorite series that ended when that happened, and we've still never gotten them back. But I mean, Dawn of DC, and kind of going with it, the Golden Age stuff that they've been doing, like they've finally given us back the JSA. Superman has been fantastic. The Batman title has been great. Green Lantern, like was said earlier, Green Lantern is finally being written the way that Hal should be written, where it's, he's fun loving and he's arrogant, but he can back it up, and he's got a mess of his love life. Green
Poison Ivy.
Yeah, Green Arrow has been one of
Tremendous.
one of the best series that I've been reading every month.
We got 3 different Green Lantern books coming out right now,
Yeah.
which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Shazam. I love what they've done with Shazam, and that they're not calling him Captain Marvel again, but they're getting close to it. So, hopefully one day soon, but just it's a return to classic DC superheroes.
What made him great in the first place?
Yes, exactly. It's they're not trying to reinvent everything and change everything or pander. It's just here's great superheroes. We're going to give them to you. We're going to take all these characters that we've kind of neglected for a while,
Jason.
like
Hey, Mon. What's up, Brandon?
hey, what's up?
Hey,
Hey,
Hey.
Yeah,
Hey, Brandon, good to see you, my brother.
Howdy.
But,
Ugh, can't even talk. Mon Comics, ladies and gentlemen. There you
we're
go.
getting
The man.
we're
Yes.
getting the Shazam series has been great. Hawkgirl was a good series. Power Girl's been good. They gave us a Superboy miniseries. They're taking all these characters and giving us back to them. So Dawn of DC, I've loved it. Can't wait to see what new stuff we get from them this year.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Kev, what do you got for
Um,
your best event?
I agree with you guys as far as the Dawn of DC, but I'm going to go specifically with the Lazarus Planet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now,
Yes, that sums a lot.
yes. Now, Lazarus Planet was like a continuation of the Batman versus Robin storyline.
Mhm.
But what ended up happening is there was, I can't give specifics. What ends up happening is they set up a thing where a bunch of characters can all of a sudden spontaneously have superpowers, and a bunch of other people with that already had their superpowers changed around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, it sets up whatever DC wants to do. It's basically like we can do whatever we want with everybody now. And it sets up a lot of potential for plots or comics or ideas of anything that they want to do moving forward. It opened up a lot of possibility for DC to play with the established backgrounds of their foundation at this point. So I think with the Lazarus Planet, there's a lot of potential to have a lot of fun with whatever that they want to do moving forward. So I think that will set up great things going along with the Dawn of DC.
Yeah, because what was it? City Boy came out of that one.
Yeah, City Boy. There was a
Red Canary.
Circuit
Yeah.
Breaker made their debut.
Yeah,
in
that was
Lazarus Planet.
Shout out to Al Kaplan.
So there's a lot of potential for DC to just play and do whatever they want to do. Introduce these characters that are, they turned Superman's son Superman into the electric Superman that we had from back in the 90s as an homage to what his father was doing. So I mean, this is a lot of fun that's coming out of the end result of the Lazarus Planet.
Yeah.
A whole row of Dawn of DC.
Yeah.
They all might be the
Robin
tiebreaker.
series that kind of started because it started with the Robin series, which was fantastic. Went into Batman versus Robin. Went into that. Went into Dawn of DC.
It started with the Monkey Prince.
Yeah,
series.
that's right. Yeah.
I mean, brilliantly the way they set up everything moving forward into the future for 2022 into 2023, moving into 2024. It's going to be great.
Yeah, definitely. And last but not least, Sal.
The tiebreaker.
Let's see what you got.
Well,
It can't be Night
okay.
Terrors. You made that your
I know. I was going to say,
your
I think when I'm hearing all you guys' answers, I think I reversed these two answers. And Night Terrors should have been my best event of the year. And this other one should have been best series spread so far. So what I have written down is the Predator versus Wolverine series right now.
You really did enjoy that. I remember. You
I
saying
am loving it. It's still ongoing as well, unless it's finished.
It's good.
My dog even loved it. She's like super excited for it. So I mean, it's been a really good read because it's gone in the past. He's fighting the Predator, and they're showing you snippets of him fighting this Predator over the years.
Yeah.
And it's also giving a little bit more background on his samurai training back when he was in feudal Japan, stuff like that. And it's just been a very good read, and I've enjoyed it so far. So that's probably should have been switched there, but you know, hey.
Either way, it works for
Yeah.
best event of the year because I mean it was a major event having these two legacy characters.
Yeah.
Finally,
Yeah.
we've been chomping at this for years.
And
it would be a fun
saying
one.
it's a hack and slash book is an understatement. Okay, it is an understatement. So
Absolutely.
There you go. All right.
All right, Tim, you want to take the next one?
Yeah, so 6 categories down, ladies and gentlemen. We have 3 left, and the one we're going to get into right now is, I think, one of the most important. This is top publisher of the year. So these
And if ain't Mad Cave Studios, everyone no.
yeah, there you go. So these choices here are who we think were the best publishers across the board. And
I think we're all gonna have a lot of agreement on this one.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Well,
Real fast, showing some love from
Yeah.
Brandon Bond. Real soon we'll be getting together, brother. Can't wait to actually meet you and talk comics with you. But you guys
Absolutely.
deserve a little love. I'm reading Wolverine vs. Predator as well, and it's fantastic.
I'm waiting for
Thank
my
you,
invite
Mon.
on the show, man. I'm waiting for my invite on the show.
Yeah, I already told him when you guys do another collaboration where you're showing off the books that I wanted to go on there because that looked like a lot of fun.
We do have a date for him to come on, just so everyone
Nice.
knows.
Yeah,
We're gonna be
I'm
talking about
banned
it
from
more
his
in depth.
show because I showed more than 5 books. Yeah.
that was amazing.
Fan.
So
you don't get to
You
see
had a lot of-
this. You
You don't
don't
get to see this.
this.
You don't get to see this. You don't get to see this.
there you go.
The old
All right, so
tease.
best publisher of the year, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, once again, everybody in the chat having a good time. We are glad you are here. We couldn't do this without you guys.
We
So
do this for you.
that's right. We do this for you. There you go. So Wes says top publisher of the year is DC Comics. Let's go ahead and start it there. And my choice for top publisher of the year is also DC Comics. Dawn of DC, Superman, the return of Golden Age legacy characters,
Yes.
Night Terrors as a major event. God, there's so much. Zdarsky coming on to write Batman.
Yep.
Joshua Williamson pulling the cart that is DC and writing all these wonderful stories. Hawk Girl being fantastic. Green Arrow turning into an ongoing,
Just like
Yeah.
Poison Ivy.
yeah, like Poison Ivy. The Golden Age titles that are out right now: The Flash, Sandman, Green Lantern, JSA stuff. It just goes on and on and on. I think DC really listened to the fans. They really put their best foot forward, and they really wanted to make awesome comic books. Was everything a masterpiece? No. But a lot of the things that they put out was a lot of fun to read, and you didn't feel like you were just breaking up with your girlfriend for the 15th time like you do with Marvel reading Spider-Man. So, yeah, DC top publisher of the year. Richard, you say you're a Marvel guy, but we are convincing you to start reading DC again. Buddy,
Yeah.
Now's the time.
pick it up. Pay attention on After Dark, Richard. Uncle Gary's got a lot to say about DC. And with that,
Right after this episode, we'll be doing Comics Unleashed, so stay tuned for that too.
there you go. With that, Gary, top publisher, sir. Who do you have?
All right. Of all the categories, this was by far the easiest for me. So this one isn't just the slam dunk. This is a slam dunk. Hang on the backboard and shatter the son of a bitch backboard with it. Shatter the glass. This was, without a doubt, it's easy. It's DC, baby.
Yeah.
And you know, all those that Tim mentioned are great. And you know what we haven't even mentioned? The Titans. The Titans is an incredible book.
Yes.
The Beast War issues with Gar Logan, and those have been fantastic. And the Mark Waid writing Shazam and the Retro Teen Titans series. Mark Waid, who like Dan said, he just writes comics. He writes good old fashioned comics that you fell in love with when you were a kid. So DC as a whole, the Night Terrors, the Dawn of DC, everything they've done. Now I'm a DC guy. Yeah, I'm biased, but still, it's obvious how much how well they have done this year, bringing back the Golden Age characters. And I am a Justice Society guy. I mean, I love the League, but man, I love the Justice Society almost as much there. And to bring them back, and I know we've had delays with it, but you know what? They're worth waiting for. I'll wait for you, Jeff Johns, to do whatever you got to do to get that book out. So I love what DC has done from their Black Label stuff, right? The Black Label stuff has been pretty phenomenal.
Rogues.
Rogues.
You just need that second issue of Lex Luthor.
Yeah. Well, it may take a while. Green Hell, right? Again, these books have been phenomenal. The Superman, phenomenal. The action runs, phenomenal. I've enjoyed Batman and Detective quite a bit. The gang war that Jamie referenced earlier when with the Red Hood, and the dynamic with him and Batman.
Gotham War.
Gotham War.
Yeah,
that was phenomenal. So I'm just loving it. So for me, DC without a doubt, slam dunk, backboard shattered, baby.
He made Sale walk away.
He's got to rethink his choices.
Yeah, he's rewriting everything right now and come back with a new list.
He's rethinking his life choices.
Jamie, top publisher, bud. Who do you have?
This was the hardest choice for me this year because I wanted to go with Boom. I wanted to go with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I wanted to go with Something's Killing Children. Wanted to go with House of Slaughter, but I have to give the edge to DC this year. I do. Nightwing.
4 for 0 right now.
Unbelievable. Everything they've been putting out has been nothing short of, like I said earlier, fantastic. They can't be touched right now. It's 100% cannot. The events they're doing surpassed everything that Marvel did, even with their multiple events that they've had. Remember, it was Summer of the Symbiotes and it became the Summer of just goo. To me,
you
like,
were looking forward to that one too. I think that was the thing you were most looking forward to.
I thought, and I literally said Night Terrors sounded so stupid, I'm not going to get it, and I ended up getting every single issue of Night Terrors. But just Joshua Williamson is like holding this whole thing down so well. I remember real fast, there was an interview with him literally a year ago. He goes, I have DC literally storylined out for the next 2 to 3 years.
Wow.
And I can't wait to keep seeing what he's doing because he's doing a hell of a job.
He's doing great. All right, Jamie, there we go. Thank you very much. Kevin, I think I hear a similarness coming around, but why don't you go ahead and let us know who your top publisher of the year is?
I have to say, welcome back, DC. I had such a problem when DC was, let's push Batman, the Suicide Squad, and Harley Quinn, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
For the longest time, that was their, like, shoving those things down our throats, and everything else was just scattered out a little bit here and there. I mean, the fact that right now they canceled The Flash and are bringing it back as a new series, and with the prominence of Wally West being the Flash. I mean,
they listen to the fans.
I have no problems with Barry Allen, but I mean, Wally West has always been my guy. And just another example of why DC is doing all the right things now. And for the longest time, I loved DC, but for the longest time, I also was like, it's not what it once was. It didn't have the heart.
Yeah.
The heart is beating once again for DC. So
well said.
I got it.
Well said. All right, Dan, what do you have? Top publisher of the year?
I mean, I mean, clearly it's Aftershock Comics.
We're
No, it's DC. I mean,
just moving right along. That's great.
Robin, like I said, Robin was great. They've had so many great events. They've had so many great books. The Dawn of DC, where they're bringing this stuff back. Like I said, I've been saying, when they started New 52, one of my favorite books was JSA. Like Gary said, I like JSA as much as I like the League. I like JSA and those Golden Age characters.
Yeah.
Even more.
Yeah.
League. So I'm glad to finally see them back. The Stargirl miniseries that led into this was fantastic.
Yep.
The Damian Robin series, I love that. I wish they had kept that going, but I see why they ended it to go forward. I mean, there's so much great stuff they've been doing. They're keeping it going. Not every book for Dawn of DC has been great. There's I won't mention, but there's a couple that I'm like, I don't really like this one so much. But overall, it's great that they're bringing the spotlight back to characters that they've been ignoring too long. I will say those, since everybody's.
Can you answer that question for Richard? Are they doing anything with Kyle?
Not yet. In the current GL series, they haven't revealed the whole story yet, but a lot of the Lanterns do not have their rings due to a quarantine of Earth. So, but Kyle, the last issue had them showing the breakout of where they're going to do and what they're going to be doing, but then they didn't show what Kyle was going to be doing.
Ooh,
they kind of had him in the background, so I'm assuming there's going to be a story or a plot with him later on.
All right. So yeah, Dan, finish up your thoughts. DC.
I was just going to say, with everyone giving this love to DC, I also have to say, Image has had a real strong year too. All the Radiant Black stuff, for the verse has been great.
Void Rivals.
Yeah, Void Rivals and the whole Energon universe. It only popped up the second half of the year, but that's been fantastic. The Mark Millar stuff. Now he's leaving Image to go to, I think, Dark Horse, but ending it with the Ambassadors was a great series last year, and then ending his Image run with Big Game, which I just sent Tim the review that I did of that.
Yeah,
I mean that was such a fantastic, a fantastic series. All of the Jeff Johns stuff, the Mad Ghost stuff has been excellent too. So they're not quite on the level with what DC's done, and there's so much more that they've done too. But I just wanted Image to also be mentioned too, because they've got a lot of great stuff that they've been doing.
All right, Sonny, best publisher, top publisher of the year, good sir.
Well, for me, I am a Marvel guy. As you can see, I have Spider-Man on. I got Wolverine painting. I'm surrounded by epic collections, but for me, it is DC as well. DC, has killed it this year. They made the ultimate comeback. Like I said, last year we were going back and forth with some of us would pick Marvel, some of us were picking Image, and this year I think it's going to be a clean sweep.
Wow,
for DC, which is the top publisher this year for me.
All right, Sal, you can make this a clean sweep, or you can go against the status quo and choose somebody different.
All the culprits are picking DC.
As hard as it was to not choose Salvage Comics as the new publisher on the block, I have to go with DC.
Look at that across the board.
And I am a Marvel guy. I am really seriously more of a Marvel guy than DC. But you got, for all the points that everybody just said, yes, DC has been killing it this year.
Yeah.
Jamie, correct me.
But Salvage Guide Comics, very small publisher, they're going to be big this year in 2024.
Now, the first year of the Codex Awards, I don't think we chose the same publisher. And for the second year of the Codex Awards, I don't think we did either.
No.
I don't think it was unanimous.
I think it was a tie last year.
Yeah.
But no, I think me and you, I picked Boom. I think me and you did pick the same thing last year, or the first year. I think it was Boom.
The first year, yeah, but it was just you and I, though.
Yeah.
And the second year, when we had more, I don't think it was unanimous.
No,
So
it was
Marvel
literally a
and
split
Image.
between Image and Marvel.
Yeah. Wow. Across the board, DC, ladies and gentlemen. Well earned, well deserved.
Okay.
Well, way to go, DC.
Absolutely.
So the guy who's like, I might have to look into DC, right here. This is
This is it, Richard. Absolutely.
Yes.
This is
All
the
right.
time to jump on with DC now.
Yeah,
Yep.
110%. All right, so that is 7 categories out of the way. We have 2 left, and who better to do this category than J-Dubs himself? Jamie, this one is all for you, sir.
Yes, and this one is thank you to Uncle Gary for picking this one and adding this one to our list. This is cover of the year. And to start, I'm going to show Wes's cover, and it is JSA #1, and it is a variant cover.
Woo!
Oh, that's-
Nothing wrong with that cover.
Look at that.
Mhm.
I think
Wow.
I just went through second puberty.
You had your second sexual awakening.
Nice.
He never
That's
had his
great.
first, though.
Oh my god.
All right. So I'm going to actually kick this one off. And this one I picked based entirely for nostalgia reasons, and you'll see why I picked it. Who never, as a
Yep.
kid,
Wow.
never
Yeah.
did this
Yep.
and wanted to be Superman?
That's awesome.
Bermejo.
Great.
That's
That's
great.
That's Bermejo. Yep.
Yeah.
Tying
fantastic.
the towel around your neck or
Yep.
shoving it in your shirt
Yep.
and running.
100%.
We've all done it.
That's
No,
great.
we all have, and
Yeah.
that's why I picked it, because it made me feel like a kid again buying that book.
Wow.
We all still do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
I
Yeah.
don't
That's
want
one of
to
those
talk about
things
my
as a
personal
kid. You don't even have to be a comic fan to do it as a kid. It's just one of those. It seems like those innate things that you tie the blanket around you, you get the little knot there, and then you take off.
I have
Then
a
you-
picture of my daughter when she was 6 that has the towel tied around her neck, and she's got her fist up in the air, and she's just got the greatest look on her face. It's one of my favorite pictures.
And then you do that, you tie it, and then you jump off the roof and break your leg. Yep.
Woo!
Yeah.
Gone.
First hospital bills are always the best.
That's
Yeah.
right.
All right, Uncle Gary, yours is up, and explain what it is and why you picked it.
Oh man, that's All-Star
Ooh.
#8. It's the
Ooh.
B cover. It's the Tony Harris variant. I had a hard time choosing between this and what is going to be Tim's cover, and Tim's cover might have edged it out. But I am very happy to be able to display this and give this the love. Tony Harris did it, and those 8 characters in there. What do they have in common?
The Golden Age.
That's
Well-
the original JSA.
Winner, chicken dinner. That's why you're my road manager, baby. Those are the original.
And
8
I am just a
numbers.
fan.
Hey, you have a place at this table, my friend. You set the table. But yeah, those are the original 8 members of the JSA as depicted on All-Star 3, that great iconic cover. So that's just a beautiful cover. I love it. He's got another one next. He's got another, I think, 1 or 2 coming out with the next issues. Each issue is going to have one of his variant covers kind of in that style. So I'm very, very happy to get those. But I love that. That's this nostalgia in me. I love the JSA,
Wow.
and that's a wonderful representation.
The original
great.
comic book super team.
Yep.
Yes, they are.
All right, Tim, tell us the same, brother.
All right. So
Yeah, baby.
when
So
this category was chosen and accepted for the Codex Awards this year, I think I messaged Jamie my cover within a minute. This was a no-brainer. This is the I'm going to pronounce his name wrong. Bjorn Berens variant cover for Ghost Rider. Guys, look at it. Just look.
Yeah.
You-
so cool.
You know that these two are about ready to, like as Pam says on her comment right here with what she did with the cape and Superman.
Yep.
Yeah, I ate some serious dirt doing that cape thing as a kid. Jamie, if you wouldn't mind throwing that cover back up for a second, you know them two are going to eat some serious dirt
Yep.
as the fight goes on. Nobody's walking away without a piece or two missing. And just, I can't say any more about it. That cover is
More than just a piece or
stunning.
two. Several
Yeah.
pieces.
The eyes,
They-
Ghost Rider's eyes, little blazing, just little blazing pinpoints there. Oh,
Both of
so
them
cool.
know that they don't have to hold back. They
Yeah.
can
Yep.
unleash hell.
The
That's my
framing
choice.
of that cover was magnificent.
Yep. All you had to see is Wolverine's hand. That's it.
Yep.
Yep.
That's it. That's my choice.
Very
Love it.
Right. Sonny, you're up, bud.
Right. For me, I picked the Alex Ross variant of Batman 135.
Nice.
You can see a classic. I love that you see all the characters: Batman, Robin. You see, Catwoman, Riddler, everybody, Joker, Two-Face. You even see, see all the characters there. So many classic characters. It's a classic cover, but done by Alex Ross. So I love it. That is my
and the pose of Batman and Robin together just like brings back the classic nostalgia of the characters.
Yeah, you see Robin with those super short shorts. You see Batman, he's got the one with the bigger chin. You even saw Dr. Hugo Strange was even in the in the corner. So I love that you see so many of the classic Batman characters.
And Batman is ripped there too.
Yeah, he's huge.
It was like he did that cover after he hit some venom.
All right. Next up, Dan.
Yes.
I love
Pretty.
She-Hulk is my favorite female character, one of my favorite characters. I've loved the sensational She-Hulk book, the current one, and the She-Hulk book before it. And as soon as I saw this variant cover for issue 1, I was like, oh my God. I ended up not getting it because I'm too cheap to buy ratio variants. But I think I'm gonna have to break down and get it. I love other than the fact that it's amazing Adam Hughes artwork. It's a foil cover if you have it. And it's really cool the way that they did the foil, where it's not the whole cover, it's just the water that's on the cover. So when you see it, it's her, and then all the water is foil. Yeah. It's just super cool. And foil covers last year, which were real popular in the 90s, have started making a comeback.
Yep.
Past year. Local Man, which is another series that I love, from Image, has had a couple great ones too. But it was the artwork on that, and then the inventiveness of how they did the foil on just the water. So just like on a sunny day where you would see how you see the sun reflect off of the water, it's just like that.
And the logo, like it's under the water.
Like water.
I think I just went through third puberty.
Nice.
I guess it's a good thing that we're only seeing Kevin, everybody from here
from the waist up.
You see how his hands are like compressed down, like he's pushing?
Easy.
Way down there.
You look like you're about to pass out. We know where the blood was rushing.
Oh my God.
Speaking of Kevin, you're up, buddy.
All right. I love this cover so much.
Good cover, yeah.
The empty space variant of Avengers #1 featuring Vision on the cover. And Vision is my favorite Avenger anyway. So this one was just such a cool. I mean, look at his hands. His hand like fades into nothing in the that's just such a great cover.
That's super cool.
Love it.
Gotta go with that one for my #1 favorite cover.
Great.
Negative space covers are always interesting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
very
cool.
much. I love
And
it.
when they're done right, the way that they have his hand on the case, that fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
And
Before you show mine, what character have I been
Venom.
missing all
Venom.
episode?
It's
Oh,
Venom. It's a Venom cover. You know it's Venom. There you go.
There it
This
is.
is Venom number 25. I believe this was the F cover. This is a Ken Lashley foil variant. I have this sucker slabbed at a 9.8. It is amazing.
A 9 point what?
9.8, sir.
Woo. There you go.
And this, I love the tongue with the drool coming right off of it, and
Here.
it is. I don't know. It's just amazing the way the foil really picks up stuff on this cover.
Jamie,
That's the same drool Kevin just had.
Yes, it is.
Jamie, I
Yes,
love
it
the
is.
color scheme you did for Sal's. That was great.
Yeah, I threw a little bit something different. I was trying to make the backgrounds blend.
That worked.
And it works most of the time.
Yep.
Man. That was
Thank
great.
you, Jamie.
Yeah,
So-
thank you.
Sal got
Unfortunately, Wes didn't get his until like right when the show
Yeah.
started.
So Sal had his two great loves for covers there, Venom and foil.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes. I am a sucker for a foil.
Great new category. I'm glad we have it now.
Yeah.
All right.
Uncle Gary came in clutch with that one.
Yeah.
Thank
And it's
you.
a staple
And we
now.
literally made it 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks
Yeah,
ago?
I think so. Yeah.
2 weeks ago, and I was like,
Yeah.
Yep, we're doing it.
Done.
Why didn't we think of that? We're idiots. Thank you, Uncle Gary.
Hey, it's a team, baby. It's a team.
That's right.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, Jamie, we have one category left, sir. And as the head of Codex, I feel that you should present this year's Legacy Award.
Yep.
I'm perfectly fine with announcing who it is, but I feel like we need a little bit of a promo for this man, because without that, I don't think it's worth it. And I think Uncle Gary should give the promo. But our Legacy Award winner is Keith Giffen this year.
There you go.
Uncle Gary, if you got a few words to spew out about this man, please, we would love to hear you.
Well, Keith Giffen is the ultimate curmudgeon. And he's an interesting cat to meet. I've met him on several occasions at shows, and he really digs into that curmudgeonly behavior, but everyone really loves this guy. And he has got a sense of humor like no other. As you know, as we've talked about the Lobo books already. So he was also responsible for a version of the Justice League that's not my version of the Justice League, because I like the Big Seven, but his version of the Justice League with Booster Gold and with Blue Beetle and
Guy Gardner.
Guy Gardner.
One punch.
One punch.
I can't believe I missed it.
Yeah, or Cooey, right? Y'all know what that is, the island. So all the craziness that happened in that are hilarious. Before that, he was also an amazing writer on the Legion of Superheroes.
Yes.
The Great Darkness saga that he wrote was one of the best, probably the best Legion story ever written. And it was phenomenal. His art was very stylized too, and it was very evocative. Not my favorite artist, but you would feel it. You know what I mean? Sometimes you look at art that you won't read a book just for that art, but when you meld his story with that art, it's very moving. He liked to do a lot of the 9-panel pages. He liked that a lot. He created Lobo as a jab at the anti-heroes, right? And he couldn't believe how much Lobo took off, and then he just leaned into it big time. So Giffen created Ambush Bug, which was a totally just off the wall character. And you look at the covers he drew with Ambush Bug on Action Comics, where he's screwing with Superman or screwing with the logo and all that. You get a good sense of his humor. And maybe the ultimate Giffen joke is, are y'all familiar with right after he passed?
Yeah.
The tweet that he sent out, or that was sent out for him? Y'all familiar with this?
We've talked about it before.
It was basically, I'll do anything not to have to go to the New York Comic Con. It was something to that effect. Yeah. So and when you read it, you're like, that's not real. Damn if it wasn't real.
Wow.
That he had that joke set up as his final, gotcha to everybody. And what a sense of humor. What a character. And he was, from what I understand, very loyal to those around him. McGuire and I just read a tribute to him by someone that was in one of the independent books, and maybe it was either Distillery or Boom, and the guy said he wouldn't have started this if it had not been for Giffen.
And he was Boom.
Suggesting that he hang with it, and he did work for him, and he helped him get that off the ground. So, this is the kind of guy you want in your corner, and our industry that we love is lessened by his loss.
Didn't he create Rocket Raccoon too?
Yep.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He did Marvel work too, and you're right. I did focus on his DC work, which was the most of his work. But yes, he did actually create Rocket too. He sure did.
I did a interview not long ago with J.M. DeMatteis, who was a very frequent collaborator with Giffen. And the interview was mostly about DeMatteis' career and every the stuff he did, but you couldn't mention his career without mentioning Giffen's career. And we talked a lot about him and their work together on Justice League and Defenders and how they came back and did I Can't Believe It's Not the Justice League, and
Yes.
Yep.
that they were talking about getting together and doing it again. And then he said, but we can't do that because Keith is gone. And, he kind of lamented on, on saying, it just goes to show, like, you make these plans, like, you can't put stuff off, like, because, that things can happen. You won't be able to do it. So you want to hear somebody that worked directly with him talk about him some, go check that out.
And if you're a fan of these guys, go to these cons and meet them, and go to these cons that aren't pop culture cons. Go to the ones that are about the true comics. Most of y'all will be in Baltimore this year.
Yep.
That is a true comic con where it's about the writers and the artists. It's about the creators. It's about the guys that toiled in this industry that we love so much and gave us the source material that laid the groundwork for the DCU and the Marvel universe and all, cinematic universe and all this stuff. But meet these guys. My God, these greats. I was so lucky to meet Bernie Wrightson, Denny O'Neil, Neil Adams so many times. These guys that are gone now, and Giffen is one of them. And if you've got a hero out there and you love their work, go tell them, go see them. Tell them how much your work means to them. Get a signature from them and just be in their presence a little bit. And, there are always stories about, don't meet your heroes. Let me tell you, 90% of the time when you meet these guys, they're really cool guys. And they are there because they know that they mean something to you. And they are gracious and generous with their time. But go out and meet these guys and have a little interaction with him. So you can, I'll always, I'm blessed that I got to meet Giffen, and I got to meet him on several occasions. And he signed stuff for me, and he was a curmudgeon, just the way he's supposed to be.
Right
but those are valuable things. I mean, Stanley, got to meet Stanley. These are things that, will resonate with you and will enhance your fandom and will enhance your experience in this industry, to know that you've met these pillars of our industry. So that's my passion, Clea. I'm sorry for going on too long about it, but just go meet these guys, because they are the reason that we are all here, is because of their works.
Yes. Absolutely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this year for the 3rd annual Codex Awards. We are at the end. That is it. That is 9 categories. Great choices across the board.
And in the books.
Done in the books
this year.
That's right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, stick around, because there's going to be even more Codex after this. Jamie, Uncle Gary, Dan, and Sal are
unleashed, baby.
They are. They are going to be on for Comics Unleashed not too long after the awards is over. And we're going to go ahead and get that track started right now. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, to find us on all the socials. What do we have, Uncle Gary?
We have all the socials, and we want to give them to you.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure to find us at the Codex Station on your favorite social media platform, and where we're live streaming right now. Please, if you enjoyed this type of content, hit the like, share, subscribe, and follow. We would love to have you as part of our community, as part of our family, and we enjoy doing this stuff for you all the time, every time. This is what we live for. Yes. So at the Codex Station. Also, ladies and gentlemen, head over to our website, thecodexstation.com, for all your Codex needs. Get some merch, meet the team, and so much more. Once again, thecodexstation.com. Jamie, let's go over our sponsors real quick. Why don't you go ahead and let them know one more time about W Energy.
Guys, go check out W Energy. It's the cleanest form of energy you're going to find on the market today. No jitters, no bad after crash, and no bad aftertaste. Nothing like those Monsters and Red Bulls that you guys have. This is the way to go. Now, go to w.gg, and when you complete your order, just type in the keyword code -X and save yourself 10% on your order. Go now, go do that, and you'll have the energy we have to get through the day. w.gg. Go check them out.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. And once again, our other sponsor for the Codex Awards is none other than my exclusive comic shop, Nirvana Comics in Knoxville, Tennessee. Head over there to meet Grant, Jasmine, and the rest of the Nirvana Comics team. They have a comic for everybody. And let me show you exactly what kind of comic they have. That's a Duke #1. That's a store exclusive right there. And you can win that. You have until the 22nd of January to enter in to do it. You're already halfway there. All you got to do is hit the subscribe button here on Codex right there. It's right there. Just hit that button. Good job. Now, head over to Facebook. Find Nirvana Comics on Facebook. It's real easy. Just type in their name, and you need to follow them on Facebook. Take a screenshot of that. Head over to the Codex Facebook page. If you're not following us there, go ahead and do that too. But share that screenshot. Type in "I'm in," and guess what? You are entered in to win this amazing numbered 95 out of 250 store exclusive of Duke #1. That's all you got to do, ladies and gentlemen. Jamie, as the MC for this Codex Awards, why don't you go ahead and take us out? TJ says, thank you guys. Great award show.
Thank
you,
TJ.
Thank
Thank you for
Pam,
watching.
Pam says this was a blast. Now I got to go pick up some Lobo.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am,
Same
you
here.
do.
Same here.
Yeah.
There we go. But Jamie, as always, the MC of the Codex Awards, you have the final word. Go ahead and take us home.
So yeah, 2023 was a blast full of newcomers, new adventures, and new ways that we are doing things. Can't wait to see what's in store for 2024. And it'll be the 4th annual Codex Awards for that year. And more importantly, most of us are going to see you in Baltimore.
That's right.
That's right.
We'll see a whole
Looking
other
forward
side of September. So I can't wait for that. Guys, as always, be kind to one another out there. I haven't said it in a while, but I know there's that time of year where everyone starts to get down a little bit, and even making someone smile can change a day or their life. So always be kind, and we will see you in the next one.